I, 38 million. Mary Judd 44F. A few years ago, I acquired a stepdaughter, Abby, 14F as a result. I dated Judd when Abby was 8. Met her when she was 9 and married Judd when she was 10. I'd say our relationship is okay. She doesn't act bratty towards me and respects me enough as her mom's husband. However, there is one glaring issue about her, and that is her pranking nature. Abby loves to pull pranks. Some examples are her hiding my car keys with what looked like 100 dubs in a box. Before we continue with today's story, if you're enjoying what you've heard so far, please hit that subscribe button. Every new subscriber helps me keep sharing these inspiring tales that touch your day. Thank you for your support. I found them quickly because she failed to notice my keys had duct tape on them. Another one is when she hid in the fridge, something I still find very weird to scare the first person who opened it. Well, last Wednesday I arrived home, and it seemed that I was the only one there. Only my shoes were at the doorstep, and I even called out Judd's and Abby's names with no answer. This is somewhat normal, as Judd sometimes works late and Abby stays at school for extracurriculars. So I screwed around with my dog, a German Shepherd and Husky mix for anyone that will ask for a bit. And then I decided to relieve myself. When I got to the bathroom, I noticed that the window cabinet was open. I thought nothing of it at first and unzipped my pants, but then I saw a shadow behind the shower curtains. I thought the worst and immediately punched the figure behind the curtains. Well, as everyone may have guessed from the title, it was Abby. She was making a prank video, and I had not noticed that she propped her phone up on the bathroom cabinet with 2 cups. I'm not going to lie. I did not hold back. I punched her as hard as I could. Her nose looked broken, and when I realized it, I flipped out. And so did she. After maybe 5 minutes of freaking out, I drove her to urgent care and informed Judd of the situation. Her nose was indeed broken and would need about 6 to 12 weeks of recovery. Abby won't talk to me. And as for Judd, she thinks that my action may have been justified, but also thinks I should have approached with more caution, which she has refused to elaborate on. So ITA comments. Comment on NTA to get a copy of the video. If Abby starts bitching to people about how her stepdad broke her nose, you are looking at jail time. Get and keep a copy of the evidence that she startled you while you were peeing. You need to sit Judd and Abby down and have a serious conversation. Filming without consent while someone is in the bathroom is a massive invasion of privacy and illegal in many places. If she did this to another kid, it could be considered child porn. While you are in the bathroom, you feel vulnerable with having your pants down, genitals out. Those feelings increase the fight-flight part of the brain, and you react on instinct. Please tell Abby that you love her and never meant to hurt her. Comment 2. Why would a young girl think pranking her stepfather in the bathroom is ever a good idea? She should at least be talked to about pranking anyone in the bathroom, especially with a video. Comment 3. This is so unfortunate. People get killed for this. She's lucky she's alive. That's the normal reaction to fight. As messed up, this is stuck firmly. Because this is a life lesson. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Fortunately, it's all on tape, right? So you're protected. What she did is actually what's unforgivable. Her dumb antics are going to get someone killed or put in jail. Her mother needs to address this. Not one more prank ever. Comment on how stupid a 14-year-old has to be to not know that recording someone in the bathroom without their consent is a very bad idea. And what was the stupid prank? Boo. I scared you. So I'm going to put your reaction and pee on social media. Hey, NTA, but you might want to get legal advice. Lawyer before a false and more sinister version gets circulated. Comment 5. As a teacher, I can say that 14-year-olds are indeed very uninformed. Had a 14-year-old once who took 30 minutes to go to the bathroom when he finally came back because he was a kid who didn't usually cause trouble, and I was worried. I privately asked what the heck took so long. His response? I was waiting for people to leave the bathroom. I still didn't get it, so he elaborated. If you use a stall, you're probably trying to shit or do something that you need privacy for, and other people will see your feet under the stall and try to film you by putting their phones over the walls of the stall. I started requiring that students trade their phones for the hall pass after that. Also told the administration, but they didn't do anything. The point is, yes, teenagers are that uninformed. That behavior like this doesn't click is problematic. Update 12 days later. Well, this blew up big time. Let's address a few things. Hobbies. Pranking. Nature isn't just situated on me. She has pulled pranks on her friends, the neighbors, and at school. The school has called Judd several times about this as they have resulted in mild vandalism. The refrigerator prank. She was 11 when that happened. not a grown teenager. It was a brand new and very large fridge that my uncle bought and showed it off to everyone. So she climbed in until he opened it again. Judd yelled at her, saying that she could have suffocated in there, and took her outside to scold her for a few hours. The video doesn't show the toilet at all, just the shower curtain. However, the issue still remains that this was a massive invasion of privacy. The video has been deleted and Abby has admitted it was purely her fault. The update. It's been a chaotic week. Judd still refused to elaborate on how the situation should have been handled. I showed the post as a result, and she did a 180 turn. She suddenly thought it may be time to stage an intervention, and I agreed. We brought some of her friends as well as my cousin's wife, Jess. Jess is an officer from another state, and Abby seems to respect her. In this intervention, we state how we were each affected by her various pranks and how in turn they affected her. Jess also spoke about how much of these pranks border on criminal territory, meaning she could be arrested or face retaliation. It seemed to have gotten to her, and Abby cried a bit and promised to do better when everybody else left. Just stayed behind and brought to our attention a disciplinary camp that we could send her to. The program is 6 weeks long and involves group therapy, individual therapy, and constructive projects, whatever that means, and is held at a university campus. The program apparently has good reviews. Judd seems dead set on sending her to figure out her core problems. I'm a little hesitant about sending a kid away from home, but I'm the step-parent, so I have no say. Edit update. Okay, I swear Judd must be following my posts because now she's taking back what she said and is now thinking about doing what I and you fellow Redditors suggested in the first place. Weekly therapy. So we agreed that I'm going to find a therapist, and I'm going to front the bill for it since she didn't take this seriously in the first place. Comments. Comment 1. The program apparently has good reviews. Try to get more than just reviews. The troubled teen industry is pretty horrifying. There's a troubled teen subreddit for survivors. It's brutal. I'm aware. That's why I'm hesitant about this comment. 2. Oh, thank God. I'm glad you're aware of the troubled teen industry. My heart sank so low when I read that your friend was suggesting it. Maybe it's legit, but I do feel it's a bit of an extreme response. Abby seems like a mostly good kid who just has this one stupid thing that's got stuck in her brain. Normal teen stuff. I find it interesting that Judd did a 180 after reading a post and now seems to be going from one extreme to the other. No real punishment to all punishment. I would think a bit more about that. I realize you're a step-parent and likely have no say in how Abby is parented, but I find it very concerning that your wife seems to be so easily influenced by outsiders. Honestly, if Abby's able to keep to her word to if not end her pranks entirely, at least tone it down, I'd say you're all in the clear. Maybe suggest to Judd that you keep this program in reserve in case she needs it, and that she has a chance to prove she's learned her lesson first. Comment 3 sent away seems extreme. Have you looked into this program? Is it held at a religious college? She might just end up abused at some of these types of teen rehabilitation camps, and also just exposed to kids that are worse. I realize it might not be your call, but I would suggest trying local therapy first way before sending a kid off. Oh, up. And I agree. Sending a kid away from home will probably just damage them more. But Judd seems intent on dishing out the harshest punishment immediately, thinking that this will nip it in the bud, or she doesn't want to be seen as an enabler. She changed opinions really fast when I showed her the original post. New update 7 months later. Well, it's been 7 months, and there have been a few developments. Let's address some more things before getting there. Up until recently, I have been still getting DMs asking why is this brat still in my house? Why am I friends with Jess, and why did I name my wife just in my posts? I was drinking when I made my first post. I saved a draft and went back to it after a few hours of sobering up, fixing a bunch of grammatical mistakes, but clearing some got overlooked, and it just stuck. I was planning on calling her Judy. Jess and I are not friends. She is married to my cousin, who I do have a good relationship with, as well as their 2 daughters and Jess's daughter. Jess has a serious problem with boundaries. As for why Abby was still living with me, you have to understand that her stepfather broke Abby's my stepdaughter's nose. If word got out, it would look really bad. I would be seen as an abuser and may have even been arrested. Several comments have pointed out how I should have saved that video for my own safety. I was pretty much going insane at that point, and my wife thought nothing of it, thinking I should have just let this go until I showed her my original post. To be honest, I wanted to keep the intervention that we had smaller that didn't involve her friends because I felt they did not need to know about it. I just wanted her grandparents and just to show up, but I was convinced otherwise. Update. We decided that we would send Abby to weekly therapy. We were under the agreement that I would find and pay for it, and if it worked, my wife would pay me back. It did work. Abby improved by a lot. She has realized how much damage she has done and is working to improve things. She has even begun to do volunteer work as well, which I didn't think she would do. She apologized profusely, realizing how disgusting her prank was. She has also deleted her TikTok account, claiming that's where she got all the ideas from. We decided we would get her a new smartphone for her birthday 3 months ago for the improvements she's shown. We took away all smart devices as punishment. I don't think I mentioned that before. As for me and my wife, I gave her an ultimatum. Since therapy worked for Abby, it would be time we go to couples therapy or else we separate. We were having problems before this whole incident showed up, and now it kind of has to be forced. Past 2 years, we've been living more like roommates, and her enabling behavior is finally causing things to fall apart. She reluctantly agreed. It ended up being short-lived. She spoke during our sessions about how I take things out of proportion, and I went too far posting the incident online. She revealed that she was indeed following my posts, and that's why she changed her mind about the camp. Our therapist then asked us both if we loved each other at all. I was honest and said yes, but it's becoming difficult. My wife, on the other hand, said she was in love with the idea of me. I needed a minute if I heard that right, and she went on how I was apparently a catch. I was younger than her, had a stable job, and owned a house, and she thought my loyalty was a bonus. I don't know why, but I asked her if she cheated on me and she said no, but it doesn't matter. She just revealed that she settled for me. I filed for divorce 2 months ago. We had a prenup, so things are going smoothly. Other than her erroneously claiming some jewelry as hers, my lawyer seems to think that it should be finalized within 1 to 2 months. So my sub-ex has moved out along with Abby. My dog misses them. She just sits by the door waiting for hours for them to come back. She is not happy about how things have progressed. She has been calling me a spineless bastard who couldn't just tolerate how things are and has been saying to everyone who will listen. But behind closed doors, she's been blaming Abby for her divorce, claiming it was her behavior that caused it. I know this because she has called me and texted me semi-regularly. Abby is living with her grandparents because apparently her mother can't deal with her right now. I actually like my in-laws. They were really good people and they apologized for their daughter's actions and even offered to reimburse me for Abby's therapy sessions. They told me that they were going to take care of Abby because it seemed her mother had finally lost it. I spoke with Abby and assured her that this wasn't her fault. Chances are we were going to divorce regardless. She then told me that she didn't want me to leave and that I was the closest thing to the father she ever had. This surprised me. I never really saw myself as a parental figure for Abby. I only really did the minimal. Outside of that, I just paid for school events and supplies and would carve out some time for her. But I did leave it up to her if she wanted to spend time with me. I told her that maybe when she turns 18 we can pick up where we left off, but until then, I don't think we can see each other. Her mother would definitely try to keep her away from me. And to be honest, I need some time away from Abby as well. Things are so quiet at home that it's relaxing. So there you go. I don't even care if my ex finds this post. T-Elder sent Abby to therapy. It worked. But now me and her mother are divorcing and things are just falling apart. Comments. Comment 1. I figured this was where this was headed. Good for you. You deserve better off and congrats on being smart enough to get a prenup up. You know, when I brought up the prenup, she was hesitant and took about 4 months to get her to sign it. Guess that alone should have screen problems. Comment 2. So your ex-wife didn't get the idea that if she loved you and invested in being more than a roommate, you two would still be married. Like, what's the deal here with your ex? Not you. Advice? Get your dog another dog to be busy. He will forget them at some point. Might also search for a dog daycare somewhere so he can meet other pet friends. Hope. Honesty. I think she is just incapable of forming a relationship beyond a superficial one at this point. As for my dog, I did hire a dog walker for her during the day after they moved out. Guess I'll look into doggy daycare too. Now to the next story. Story 2. My broke best friend refused a job at my restaurant, saying being a server was low and not respectable. Original post. This happened just before my friend was broke. He hasn't worked in over a year. He's running out of savings and has even had to ask his parents to support him. I asked him many times why he doesn't try to get a job that's not in his field. He's got a computer science degree but has never worked in the field a single day in his life since graduating. He's turned down lots of jobs for reasons. They don't pay him enough. They won't give him a higher-up position right off the bat, etc. I'm well aware he's deluded in that sense, but he has many other good qualities, and that's why I love the guy. So since graduating, the only job he's done is share marketing, something like online investing and Forex. He said he made about $20 a day, and that it was enough for him. He's single, lives in a shared house, and doesn't spend much. Whatever makes him happy, right? The thing is, he's totally broke. I don't think he really is making even $20 a day on the shares because he's run out of money. He's stressed out and won't stop complaining about money problems. This is confusing for me, and I think it comes down to his pride not allowing him to get a job that's not fit for his ego. Now I work as a server in a very nice restaurant and have offered him a job as a server many times. I have a great relationship with my boss, and after telling him about my friend's situation, he didn't hesitate to say he wanted to help and would like to offer him a full-time job. My friend has been turning it down for months without really giving much of an explanation. Today, he called me saying his parents have cut him off and asked to borrow money from me. I said that is a personal rule. I do not lend money to anyone, but he was welcome to start working tomorrow with me. He again turned down the offer, and I got a bit frustrated because I was offering him a solution to his money problem, but he won't accept it. So we got into a bit of a banter, and he finally confessed. He thinks being a server is low and doesn't get you people's respect. I told him respect is earned by getting off your ass and doing whatever you have to make ends meet. I asked him if he thought I was low, and he backpedaled, saying he didn't mean I in particular was low, but the job itself was. He then straight out told me that nobody can respect me working as a waiter in my 30s. Wow, I'm pretty upset. He thinks I am low for working as a server. I got a degree too, but I couldn't find a job in my field, so I had to take the first job I could. I'm not some prissy prick thinking I'm too good to serve others. I take pride in being a waiter and doing a great job. I'm so hurt by his comments. Why is he my friend if he thinks I'm low? I didn't want to say something nasty or get into an argument with him, so I only told him he was being very offensive, and I felt like he needed time to think about what he said to me. He replied saying there was nothing to think about, then gave me a list of low jobs like street sweeper, cleaner, etc., and said it's a fact those are low, not respected jobs. I asked him to apologize before this snowballed into a full-blown argument, and he said he stood by what he said. I don't want to overreact, but I don't know if we can keep being friends after this. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to badmouth him, but he should examine his life and learn empathy. I'm a very easygoing and forgiving person, but what he said hurt me and was idiotic. The man who refuses to work is calling me low. I don't know what to do. Stepdaughter friend is broke. I offered him a job in a restaurant, but he turned it down, saying it was low and not a well-respected job. Top comments. Comment 1. Honestly, be happy he didn't take the job because with that attitude, he wouldn't have lasted long and tarnished your rep with it. I don't want to overreact, but I don't know if we can keep being friends after this. Honestly, don't keep him as a friend. It doesn't seem that you get much out of the friendship anyway. Comment 2. Funny, pompous ass is too good to work as a waiter, but isn't above asking to borrow money from a waiter because he's too pathetic to go earn a living to take care of himself? It's easy. Take the job off the table because it's not appreciated or respected by him, and it will only end badly for you and your generous boss. Don't lend your friend anything and let him figure out his problems on his own. A simple life lesson coming. Update Reddit November 24th, 2018. Next day. I made this post yesterday asking for advice on how to handle the situation with my friend. Basically, he's very broke and his parents have cut him off. I've been offering him a job in the restaurant I work in for months, and he always turned it down. His situation got so bad he came to me yesterday asking to borrow money. I don't lend money to anyone as a rule, but I told him there will always be a plate of food for him in my house and he was welcome to accept the job offer and start working with me the very next day. Well, long story short, we had a bit of an argument, if you can call it that, and he finally confessed. He thinks being a server is low and won't earn him people's respect. In an interesting turn of events, he called me today and said he'd thought it through and had decided he's willing to accept the job only with one condition, as if he was the one doing me the favor, that he's to be made manager right off the bat, and that he should move in with me so that I can drive him to work, because the bus from his house to my workplace takes 35 minutes, and that's over an hour of commuting a day. He then suggested I move my youngest daughter into my elder daughter's room so that there's an empty bedroom for him in my house. So he obviously had given this some thought. I was dumbfounded. The sense of entitlement and the level of pride you have to make those demands is astonishing. I know he's never had a proper job, but he's not stupid. He has to know you can't be made manager if you don't even know the names of their dishes or how to serve coffee. It's all about his pride. He's got an ego bigger than I thought. He can't be humble enough to accept a waiter job and work things out from there. He needs to be made manager so that it won't hurt his pride as much. I was so out of words. I said I didn't want to talk and hung up. I can't explain how off-putting that conversation was. I feel repelled by him. I feel disgusted as if something has changed inside me. I can't have a person like him in my life. What makes a person refuse all help just out of sheer pride? My wife says I've been patient and kind enough to him throughout the years, and I should let him figure things out on his own. He really was broke before his parents cut him off. They were covering his rent bills, and he survived on the $20 a day he claimed to be making investing in Forex. I know he barely eats and can't even afford a new pair of shoes and some other stuff. I know he's got no money. But then why won't he accept the job? He's not shy, has no mental health issues, and has no problem dealing with people. He's refused many other jobs in the past, even jobs related to his degree in computer science. He's got the wrong idea that he should be given higher-up positions right from the start because he's him, and that's what he deserves. That's the reason he hasn't worked a single day since graduating like a decade ago. Anyway, I've gone to do some deep thinking and reevaluate this friendship because I don't like the person he's becoming. His dad is a bus driver and his mother is a retired teacher. They're lovely, humble, down-to-earth people. I think they've done the right thing cutting him off. I know they're both struggling financially, so it's not fair for their son to leech off them. His mother even had to go back to work doing some tutoring in order to make some extra money to be able to support my friend. I'd be so ashamed if I made my 70-year-old mother go back to work, just so I could be sitting at home dreaming of landing the perfect job while actively dying to get one. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry. I'm just so mad. My wife says it's time to cut the cord and distance ourselves from him. I think she might be right at it. A yellow star has appeared next to my name. Does this mean I'm the sheriff now? Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.